Alright, good evening. Let's get some of this. Welcome back to Shiitake News. I'm glad to have you here. Today we got 3 quick stories I want to go through with you. First off, let's get the important stuff out of the way. Protecting yourself from travelers. It sounds kind of cruel and hurtful, but I have it's close to the heart right now. I have a young cousin or young nephew. He's kind of sick right now. He has a fever. They're not sure. They're just not sure what it might be. They have ideas. So that he had shots recently, and he might be just reacting from that, or it might be just a common cold. But he had a really high fever, so it brings me to worry about him. So with that in mind, please keep yourself safe. Japan is becoming a hotbed for the coronavirus, unfortunately. And I have a link here to a story how cases have almost doubled in the last few days. It's getting bad, and it's scary, the fact that Japan itself could be in trouble just because we were late to the party when it comes to stopping travel to China. The U.S. was quick on the button. As soon as they heard things might be bad, they took action. But Japan decided to wait for the Chinese-friendly organizations to finally deter that, or finally announce that they should restrict travel to at least the city of Wuhan. And Japan finally followed suit and made that happen. But I think they were pretty late. This virus seems incredibly hard to contaminate or to quarantine. So everywhere they've tried, it seems to get worse and worse, and there's a lot of details that are missing because China's really has a stranglehold on data right now. China expels 3 Wall Street Journal reporters because they didn't appreciate their opinion, so they wanted them out of the country, and that just leaves less information flowing outward. So keep that in mind, that they might be hiding. I can't tell you what they're doing or not doing, but I can tell you that we don't know enough, and they're not going to share more than they have to. So yeah, that idea worries me. So yeah, keep that in mind, and please try to take care of yourself. Second up, China feels isolated. Now, I understand why. But when there's an accident, or there's something that happens, that like a accident or a fire on the plane, you normally have to take care of yourself first before you can help others. And it's the same for anything. If you're wounded, you take care of your wound first before you can move on to others. It's no point having 2 wounded individuals out there. Take care of yourself first. Nobody else is going to do it. Nobody else is going to open hospitals in your country unless they've taken care of their own countries first. So this is one of those moments when you have to understand that restricting travel may seem harsh, but it's for your own good. Quarantines doesn't seem to work with this virus at the moment, and there's no cure for it. So there's no one more important to you than you and those close to you. So keep that in mind. Next up, let's keep the news a little lighter. Is the Democratic debate. I named it Democratic debate buyers and sellers because there are still some people trying to buy their way in, which Bloomberg has, and there's others who are still trying to sell the idea that they would be a good president, such as Warren and others. And I think it's going to be good. It's Mike's first debate, and you can see Trump already attacking him, and for good reason. He's another billionaire similar to Trump. They actually used to be friends. Trump back in the day used to be a Democrat. Mike back in the day used to be a Republican, and for some reason they're running on opposite sides. So they have similar points of view. But the thing is, this guy's paying his way up. He's using a ton of money. From what I understand, even his staff, who normally get 30 grand, 40 grand a year, He's paying him like 70 grand. He's paying more than usual for advertisement just so that other companies or other campaigns can't compete with them. And he has the money to do so. So kudos to him for having that much money, but it definitely feels like he's buying an election. So Warren says that this debate with Bloomberg there would be a good warm up to debating Trump, because they're both billionaires, similar mentality and whatnot. But Bloomberg has a lot of dirt on him. His policies were pretty awful. I think he's a lot harsher because he was a politician, so there's a long list of stuff he's done that hurt, local communities and those less fortunate. He thinks we're too stupid, and I consider myself weak because he considers us too stupid to know what's good for us, that we should be taxed because we're incompetent with money. I don't know how you feel about it, but I tend to be pretty pissed when somebody says that. His news company, as big as it is, will not cover him, which means he's buying his way through. He's making the right donations. He's changing rules just for him, and his huge huge news company won't even cover him. That almost seems like a villain. But Bloomberg has his worries, because Bernie isn't buying his way through. He's making promises, but he's not buying his way as such as like Bloomberg is. Bernie actually has a good grassroots support. He has support from the local people. I can't support Bernie just because of some of his policies, but Bernie is legitimately the front runner. I feel it with every ounce of me that he is the one ahead on the Democratic side, and he's the one that nobody wants on the ticket. When I say nobody, I mean the established Democrats and the big donors. Bernie tends to have a really harsh view of those with money, those with wealth. And those with wealth don't want to donate to him because they feel like he's going to just attack all of them. So, Bernie's moving up ahead in the poll, but nobody wants to really admit that. Bloomberg's buying his way through, which nobody really wants to admit that either. Warren's just there just to take up a spot, and she can't admit that. And Buttigieg isn't even on the radar because he doesn't leave an impression. He doesn't have any. He took swipes at Trump's, and I don't think Trump batted an eye at it. He's not considered a strong contender. I mean, I may be wrong. It's too early. I haven't seen what he could do, but so far, from what I've seen, he's a pushover. Not a pushover, but he's a nobody. He's a gray blob in the background. He would be an ideal candidate for the Democrats because he's been with the establishment for a while. He's young, but there's a lot of things that make him that he doesn't leave an impression. Unfortunately, his name is even difficult to pronounce, at least here out here in Japan. So everybody keeps asking me about him, and I was like, he's a contender. He's up there he has the numbers behind him, but they're like, but how do you pronounce it? I was like, Pete Buttigieg. It's like, no, it's Pete Buttigieg, and even I'm pronouncing it wrong. But you never know what's going to go on. The one thing I do worry is that their health. Sanders and Bloomberg should go at it head on, but both of them are 78. Both of them are not in ideal health. We hope that's not the reason they drop out, but they're not going to discuss or even talk about it. They're 78. That's way past senior. Trump was in his late 60s, but 78 is, your late 70s. I'm worried if they can even make it. What if they get in? They'll get in at next year, so they'll be 79. 79. They'll be almost 90 when they get out of the White House if they do 8 years. That doesn't seem realistic. But I understand now kind of why Mike is burning through his cash, because you can't take it with you. And if you do become president, that's forever. And I don't think he's going to get another chance to do so. So he saw Trump do it, and he feels like he can do it the same way. But Trump is tricky. Trump didn't use his money to get ads. He just manipulated the media like no other. I remember when he was talking about Obama's birth certificate, and he talked for 45 minutes straight before he announced that, oh, he's an absolute American and everything, and that and the media was so incredibly angry because he just had like 45 minutes of vets just supporting Trump, and then it ends up being that, oh yeah, he has no new information, and he does it on purpose just to set him on fire with rage. But yeah, Mike thought he can, instead of being as tricky as Trump is, he's just gonna buy his way up. I don't agree with that. I wish there was a limit on how much you can spend. There's a limit on how much you can donate. There should be a limit on how much you can spend. But we'll see how that plays out. Though he's going to have his first debate, so I might be worried about nothing. And last but not least, please excuse me, is Sonic. I just watched Sonic. I can't tell you how I watched it, but I just watched it. They made 70 million. I think they made like 58 million for the first from Friday to Saturday, and then including Monday was another couple million. So he went up to 70, and I liked it. I'm really, really happy. I think this is the biggest opening week or opening box office for any video game movie, and it's well deserved. I watched it. I enjoyed it. I thought, I'm glad to see Jim Carrey out there being Jim Carrey, and he was fun to watch. He really did add. He was. You're happy when he's on the screen, and he plays the bad guy really well. And even the big fights are just like, I mean, they're crazy CG'd, of course, but they're just fun. There's no negative message like, oh, you should do this or you should do that. The basic message is, if you're lonely, you need to make friends, and if you make friends, you need to make them count, and that's it. There's like bar fights and all kinds. I really enjoyed it. I thought the movie was fun and colorful. Some of the jokes that went throughout the whole movie were pretty funny. The bucket list, like, I've never even kicked a bucket. I like the little one-liners that they gave him. His character, the thing I bring it up, normally that I wouldn't bring up, movies in this type of website, but this was changed by the people. The people were the one that complained when they first took a look, and the company took it in stride. They didn't pump up the Rotten Tomatoes, say no, you guys are wrong, the critics love it, this is a great movie. No, they took it in stride. They looked at it and they're like, this movie has issues of character design, and they're gonna remake it, and they did remake it, and it's great. I loved it. I thought it was fun. The character looks great. The final form when he's fighting the last boss, I'm not gonna ruin it. There's no spoilers. I'm not gonna give you. But when he's charged up, he looks amazing. It's like a Super Saiyan Sonic that's just ready to, And then the fight scene was just fun to watch. And they left it completely open for more. So I'm excited. I hope they continue this, and I hope I wish them the best of luck. But the thing is that they listened to the people, and the people, they didn't go by what the critics said. Oh, the critics said, oh, this is great, blah, 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 blah. They listened to the people, and they're like, you know what? We're going to make changes, and let's see if you guys appreciate it. And the people loved it. So kudos to you. I hope that they continue to making, I hope they continue making, adjustments to movies in the future. And this wasn't cancel culture. I don't think cancel culture falls into this category, because canceling would have ruined it. They would have just, if people were just pushing to cancel the movie. No, the people instead, to make light of it, made a joke out of it, and the people adjusted accordingly. A lot of times when they make jokes, they're like the Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie. They made jokes about it, and instead of adjusting or making, trying to make concessions to the viewers, they just said, you guys are idiots. This movie's not meant for you, blah, 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 blah. No, Sonic's like, you guys have pretty good reason to critique us, and the teeth were kind of creepy, so yeah, we're going to remake them, and it looks great. I wish him the best of luck. I hope if you do get a chance, go take a look. It's really fun. It's Sonic. I mean, how could you? It's like a blue Pikachu that's fast, and he's fast. But yeah. Anyways, that's it for me today. I just want to leave you on a quick update on my nephew. He's doing well. Hopefully, we'll have more tests, and if the medication works tonight, that means it wasn't what I think it was. But that doesn't mean he's in the clear. Tokyo is not in the clear. So wherever you are, take care of yourself. I wish you guys a good night, and I hope you have a good day, wherever you may be. Let's get some of this.